achieved.
All right, good morning, Cowboys Nation, or I guess good afternoon, and welcome to Studio Day Heffrey, where we've got a really big update from Cowboys practice today. Stephen Jones just said Gerald McCoy left practice. A lot of people were speculating that they feared it was a torn ACL. It was not, but it's not any better. Gerald McCoy, ruptured quad, out for the year. Stephen Jones says he does not anticipate that he's a guy that would be able to come off of IR at some point in the year. So Gerald McCoy is likely done for the season. One of the Cowboys' biggest free agent additions going into this year. What does it mean? Well, one, it means you're missing a good player who I think has great leadership qualities too, veteran. I liked what they did this offseason in terms of not being the Cowboys of old, where they insisted pretty much on, if we drafted him or we got him as an undrafted free agent, that's our guy, and that's how we're going to get this done. They filled in a lot of holes this year with basically Band-Aids, you know? Gerald McCoy, not a long-term answer at 3 technique, but a nice Band-Aid while you see what Neville Gallimore's got. Dontari Poe is not a long-term answer at nose tackle, but a nice Band-Aid, and they did that in a few spots, and I liked it. But now one of those is not going to work out for him. Gerald McCoy is going to miss the season. And what does it mean? To me, the most important thing that it means, well, there's a couple of things. One, who's going to step up and be that guy? If you just looked at a depth chart when the injury happened, maybe it could have been Neville Gallimore that would step in and be the starting 3 technique. But I have a feeling that this is where Tyrone Crawford gets his shine on. There's a reason that he's been on the roster forever. They missed him last year. And I know from doing the Cowboy Hour with him at one point when he was playing defensive tackle, I asked him, I was like, so is the morning any different when you play D tackle versus defensive end? And he said, yes. Yes. If he had his choice, he would play defensive end. But I think right now you could definitely use a proven commodity, a solid player, leader in the room, and that's what Tyrone Crawford is for this Cowboys team. So if I had to guess, I would say now your defensive line will be Aldon Smith and Aldon Smith and Everson Griffin at right end, DeMarcus Lawrence at left end, Dontari Poe at your nose, and Tyrone Crawford starting at the under tackle. That's the way I would do it. And the other part of this is it gives Tristan Hill a chance to make this roster. I thought before it would have been really tough because Mike McCarthy told us I plan to keep 4 interior guys and 6 edge guys. And I think the 4 interior guys were likely going to be Gerald McCoy, Dontari Poe, and then their backups, Antoine Woods and Neville Gallimore. And now one of those names is out of the equation. Tyrone Crawford can take snaps over there. He can take snaps at end. And you guys thankful yet that you didn't cut him? I saw some of you trying to cut him and save some money. Tyrone Crawford's going to help this team. And he's a leader on this defense, and they missed him last year. So I think he can step in there, and he can be that guy. Now, I just got home from out of town, so I need to pop open the old laptop to see what you guys have asked about. Remember, leave in the comments on this video what you want to talk about tomorrow, youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh. Oh, let's talk about practice yesterday. We'll get reports of things that happened at today's practice other than injury. They'll start petering out here, and we'll talk about those things. But the stuff that's been jumping out to me about the practices so far, first, I think it's a little bit silly that the NFL is making it where you can't tweet things during practice, you can't video, you can't, like you can see the formations they're running, but you can't report on them, all these sorts of things. It's kind of silly, but whatever. I don't know what they're doing, trying to push their stuff to NFL Network. I don't know, but I saw Clarence Hill, my buddy Chill, Star Telegram, Ian Rappaport reported the Gerald McCoy injury because he's not there. They're not going to kick him out of practice. And he's like, the beat writers are here and knew this. We're not allowed to report it. But somebody can text Rappaport and he can say it because there's no consequences for him. And it's kind of silly, but that's an industry thing that most of you, I think, don't care about. And I really don't either. I'm glad I'm not a beat writer or a reporter. I don't want that life. I like to just be able to talk about it. Okay, the things I've liked about what I've seen so far is make sure you're following my buddy David Hellman, DallasCowboys.com, at HellmanDC. Him and all the other guys that are out there. By the way, we are efforting right now to get our butts out to practice. You know, you got to clear it with Cowboys people and make it. You got to make it happen. We're trying to make it happen. Broadus and I would like to be out there. So, but what I've liked about the reports I'm seeing is Kelman does a great job of hinting towards what's happening without breaking the rules. It sounds like they realize that Zeke and Tony Pollard are both good backs and they could potentially play together. I don't love that idea unless you're taking Jarwin off the field. But if you want to do it a little bit, that's fine. They do have two talented running backs. But if you wanted to look at that from the nerd perspective, who are you taking off the field when you bring on your second running back? CeeDee Lamb? Michael Gallup? Whoever you bring in is not going to be more efficient catching the ball on a given play than whoever you took off. So I know the idea is cool, and you want to see Pollard get more usage, but their ideal offensive setup is 11 personnel, one tight end, Blake Jarwin, one running back, and your three stud wide receivers. That needs to be on the field the vast majority of the time. So we'll see. As my buddy Cowboys Stats on Twitter pointed out, the two running back thing sounds cool, but it's not like you can be that tricky or do that much misdirection because only one dude can take the handoff. But, if they think that there's an element of surprise involved with bringing in a second back and either motioning him in or out and then, you thought Zeke was getting the ball. Nope, it's going this way. Cool. Hopefully they can find creative ways to use that makes it efficient. But those are the things that I think have been really positive is the idea that Mike McCarthy believes that your offense should be wide open and your defense should be trying to terrorize the quarterback in every way they can. I saw quotes from Cheeto where basically he's like, dude, the offense is like, hey, what coverage was that? And last year they knew because we didn't do anything different. It's amazing watching all of these players point out the shortcomings of the way they were coached last year. While I don't think they're trying to throw anybody under the bus, but it's very clear that they're like, yeah, this is different. We get to do stuff. Like we can blitz and we can run different coverages. Lots of reports of interceptions and batted down balls from guys like Trayvon Diggs, Cheeto, Jalen on, I believe, Zeke and Pollard and some 7-on-7 reps, batting down passes. So it sounds like you've got an attacking defense that is willing to mix it up, that isn't going to line up in a base 4-3, cover 3, and just run that play all the time. And so that's good. So congratulations to them for getting to do fun stuff. All right, let me see if I got anything that I need to. I've already done those ones. Clayton Lockhart, he said, Jeff, I think Tank's going to have 10.5 to 12 sacks. If Griffin gets 6 to 8 sacks, could you see the boys finishing with 40-plus sacks for the season? I do think Griffin and Tank together will go over 20. Alden, let's say between Tank's 10, all right? Let's just start there, 10. Between Griffin and Smith, Alden Smith and Everson Griffin, I'll go like 14. So that gives us 24 between those three. Give a DB like 2 to 4. That's 28. Give Jalen a few. It's like 32. Tyrone Crawford, your defensive tackle. They could have 40 sacks. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, they could have 40 sacks. Let me see here. Where are my other notes for what you guys said to me? Where are my other notes? Not that one. That's not the one I want. I might have lost them. So if I haven't answered your question yet, leave it again because it appears that I've deleted things that I did not intend to delete. I do that sometimes. Let me see. Since you show stats, this is Brandon Rodriguez, that our wide receivers are good on deep balls, do you think our O-line can hold up in pass protection long enough without Travis? I do. Because here's the thing. For all the we're not sure who's playing center and who's playing left guard and how good are they, I'm not doing excuses for a team that's got 3 perennial Pro Bowl offensive linemen. And then the dudes who are competing for the center and left guard spot is a dude who's been on your roster for a while, and Joe Looney, that's got some starting experience, and then a second-round pick and a third-round pick in McGovern and Williams, and a fourth-round pick in Tyler Biadasz. Find a way to get it done. You can't be if you've used a 2, a 3, a 4, and Looney, I believe, is on his second Cowboys contract. If you've put that sort of resources, you don't get to have all first-round picks on your line. That ain't the way it works. So, yes, it's tough that Frederick is gone because I do think they'll miss his ability to be the guy who's calling the protections, knows everything, has seen every front, and you're in good shape in that way. But, hey, Biadasz started at Wisconsin for years. McGovern started at Penn State for years. Connor Williams started at Texas for years and has been playing in the NFL. If you can't get it done with 3 Pro Bowlers on your offensive line and figure out 2 other dudes who can just be okay, that's a problem. So you still have one of the better offensive lines in football. I think one of the top 5 offensive lines in football, even without knowing who the left guard and center are going to be. And that's the way that it has to be. All right, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you want to talk about tomorrow. I love you guys, especially my 18%ers who got the notifications turned on there. Click the little bell. Let me know if you made it to 10:04. It's nice to be back in town. It's nice to be back with you guys. I'll see you on the G-Bag Nation here very shortly. We'll be on your Cowboys content. We got you. I love you. Bye.